Hi, John Williams, Exercise of the Week. This week I'm feeling really generous and I'm not going to get just one exercise from me, you're going to get three. These three exercises are really beneficial for improving, if you like, the main muscles which work when you run. So when you run, here are some basic tips on form. So firstly, when you pick up your leg in running, this position could be called triple flexion. You have flexion of the hip, flexion of the knee and flexion at the ankle. And what you observe about good runners is that they have a nice high knee lift. Most of us would have heard running coaches say pick up the knees, pick up the knees. Now one of the importance of this is it helps stretch all the muscles around the back, and when muscles stretch they load, they've actually got energy to release. So one of the exercises that we do is very much about strengthening the muscles which pick up the knee, mainly the hip flexors. The other thing with running is once you go from the front part of the stride, you're going to drive out back, what we can call the toe off. Now this position is a position of triple extension, where you have extension of the hip. So you definitely want to work as a runner on your flexibility of the hip because that's very important. You've got extension of the knee and extension of the ankle. Now the main muscle which extends the ankle is going to be the calf group, gastrocnemius soleus. Then you've got the quadricep group extending the knee, and then you've got the gluteal group extending the hip. So all of those three muscles need to work synergistically together to produce a powerful triple extension motion. And one of our exercises, or a couple of exercises, are going to be about strengthening that group of muscles. So these three exercises are great performed in a circuit, so it'll get you a little bit out of breath. If you're an endurance athlete, you might want to use lower resistances on these and aim to do these exercises upwards of 90 seconds, so they're very aerobic in nature and they build muscular endurance. If you're a power athlete, perhaps somebody who plays a sport like football or a sprinter, you would definitely want to up the resistance of these to the point that it's very difficult to perform them for more than 30 seconds. This will help develop muscular strength and power, particularly power if you do the movements quickly. So I'm going to give you a circuit. I'm only going to do about 10 to 20 seconds as a demo. It's my day off today from my training, so I don't want to work too hard, but I'm sure you'll get the idea of the exercises. Okay, first exercise. Take my resistance band. It's just a big rubber band. Great website you can go to get these is www.performbetter.co.uk. They sell a variety of great sports training kit. I'm going to take this band, wrap it around my feet in the arches, stand soft knees. I'm going to try and maintain a neutral pelvis, so sunk in, glutes lightly squeezed, and a tall spine with my chest elevated. Thinking about my running form, I'm going to lift up this elbow with this knee and start essentially to run. But because I have to pull up on the band, it's very, very hard for my hip flexors to work. And I have to pull that band up. And what you might notice is those diagonal lines going through the body as I run. And these are the sling systems coming into play as well as the hip flexors. So that's a good exercise, give that one a go. Next exercise is a ball bridge. So I sit on the ball, again feet about hip shoulder width apart, so give you a stable base. Walk down the ball very slowly, keep your shoulders and your head centred on the ball so they're nice and stable. What you do is then lower your bum to the floor, slowly, and then pop it up nice and strong. You get a nice strong snap at the hip to extend it. Take it down slowly, pop it up. Fantastic. I keep my head pressed into the ball for safety, because that means the ball won't go anywhere. And if this exercise is particularly easy, you can put something on your lap, like a 5 kg weight plate, or a Viper, something like that to have more resistance to make those glutes work harder. Key tip, try to keep your knee at 90 degrees. That will ensure the glute work hard. If your knee angle gets bigger than 90 degrees, it's highly likely you'll start to heavily feel it in the hamstrings, which isn't a disaster, but it's not ideal. You really want to predominantly feel this one in the glutes. So that's your ball bridge. Next one is single leg hops. I take a box, could be any box, I'm happening to use a step, and you just put your back foot on. That should be relaxed as possible. Front foot, knee bent. And what you really want to be is pressing through the ball of the foot and big toe. That does help create stability in the foot and ankle. It's a top tip. If your foot and ankle ever comes unstable, have a look down and see what your big toe's doing. You'll probably find it's lifting up quite a bit. So all I'm going to do now is actually start to hop. And this will make my quads and calves work very hard to bring about triple extension. And switch sides. Oh, lost my balance. There we go. Oh, definitely feel that one burning. Whew. Let me get my breath back. Cool. Now, once you perform those 3 exercises in the circuit, give yourself a rest. If you're working by heart rate, you can drop your heart rate below about 110. That'll tell you that it's good to go again. Otherwise, wait until you feel in good control, probably about a 90-second break. Then work around maybe 2 to 3 circuits of that. Actually, then go out for a run, and you probably find you're running significantly better, because you can now have all the muscles which are picking your knee up firing very well, and all the muscles which extend the leg firing very well. Try that one out. I'm pretty sure you'll find that one very, very useful. Thanks very much for watching.